Hello everyone, this is Stina, aka Getty Girl. Second take. I just recorded this, or so I thought, and then I realized it didn't record. So here we are again. At any rate, I just finished my signature swap with Junk Journal Junkies, and the theme is Shabby Chic. And the requirements are 7 sheets, folded in half to make 14 pages, 7" by 5". And we were to include 2 tuck spots, either using paper doilies, tags, or embellishments. And we were to use some lace on at least 4 of the pages, either as tabs or along the edge. Could be glued or sewn. And I chose to sew all through my book. So here it is, my signature. And let me show you the paper that I used. The paper pad is called Rose Quartz with Prima Marketing. I love the rose all through this paper. Super, super pretty. And I have quite a bit left, almost an inch left. And the sheets were kind of multiple sheets, like you almost got like 3 full sheets, 4 sheets of each paper. And yeah, that was pretty cool. They also had matching ephemera. So I picked up 2 packages, which I'm glad I did. I incorporated one all through this book. Either I adhered it to the signature, tucked it away as extras for the receiver. And then, of course, this pack is for me. And since I have lots of paper left, I'm glad I picked up the second package. All right, let me show you my book. So the signature, we were not supposed to bind it. It's supposed to be left loose. And all I did was I actually just tied it to keep everything together. And here's my front and my last page of my signature. And here I got these envelopes at a vintage shop, and they were all glued shut, every one of them, maybe because they were so old. So anyways, I had to cut it, just fine. And then I decided to punch the sides of it to give it some more texture. Okay. I did some stamping, and so here's a pocket, and then here's a pocket. Included in a vellum envelope. Here was a loose heart that got away, so now it's inside this vellum envelope. A journal, a little journal spot. Well, it's not a spot, but a journal tag that I punched. And these were cool because these were double-sided, so it's just not white. The whole paper packet was double-sided. Here's some ephemera, here and here. I added some pink ribbon. Here's the tail from when I did my sewing, and I decided to do some double-sided hearts. I can't show you. There we go. Here's a tuck spot, and with some ephemera tucked in. And I have these jumbo, these little chubby paper clips. I love those. And so I did a little banner. I have a row of this art. I'm going to say it's architecture graph paper. And so it's a huge long row that I picked up at a Goodwill store somewhere. I'm not sure where. And so I cut it to smaller pieces and coffee stained it so to incorporate in these books. Super lovely. These are some envelopes that I picked up at AliExpress. I honestly thought they were bigger. As you can see, they are not, but they're cute. And here's a little journal spot. You can tuck that there. My first lace page. And here's the flap of that envelope. So it created a tuck spot for this tag. We had a big, huge vintage expo here in Portland, and so I had gone to it, and I think I pretty much scored on some stuff. And there was this huge box of vintage newspapers. And by the end of the sale, they sold it all to me for $5. I was super excited. So, super fragile paper. I found that out when I was making some envelopes for the signature, and when I used my We Are Memory Keepers scoreboard, punch board, I went to score, and I can literally hear the paper cracking, so I had to be super careful. At any rate, you'll see in a minute. So here's some more ephemera. I created another tuck spot. I think these are supposed to be like washi, faux washi tape. Here's another ephemera, and I don't know if you can see, but little staples. I think you can see it on this side. So I created another tuck spot, a little tag, and here's the pocket, another tag with another tuck spot, pocket, another journal card. This is extra trim from the top edges of these. I just didn't want it to go to waste, so I decided to incorporate the leftovers through the book. And these are sewn to this page. Glassine bag with some extra doilies. There's quite a few there. They're really thin. Wanted to throw that in there as some extras. And I found these little library cards at Tuesday Morning, and they have the months on them. And so I decided to go ahead and just cover it up with some ephemera. That was pretty good. I think there's like 12 of those in there. Makes sense, one for each month, $1.50, so I thought that was pretty cool. And so I used some ephemera and made a pocket into it, or made a pocket, and so now I have these little guys stuck in here. And some extra ephemera there. And here's that envelope I was telling you about that I made out of the vintage newspaper. So I reinforced it with some washi tape. I wanted to be really careful that it didn't tear. And then I included some scrap pieces from the signature. I thought the receiver could use them and incorporate that somewhere else in their book, how they choose. And again, like I said, they're double-sided. And this is pretty thick. Some extra tags. And I went ahead and glued this portion down to make another tuck spot. The tag using some extra trim. Little tuck there. Did I mention how much fun it was to create this? It is easy to go overboard. Here's another tail from sewing, so double-sided heart. This is one of the journal cards, so I decided to make it into a pocket. And here's a tag. See? Rose. Not pretty. Another journal card, and then here's another little peep using some of that vintage newspaper. Another tuck spot. Sometimes I have to say that pretty slow. Here's one of my favorite parts of the signature. I created this little envelope. I'm calling it an envelope extender. 3 teeny envelopes that I made with my punch board. This one has some Velcro on it, and some little pieces in there left over from the ephemera pack. And here's another pocket, again with more ephemera. And then there's some little journal cards in here, little tiny journal cards. And what I did was I cut the flap, this flap here, I cut it off before I glued this down, and I incorporated it in the signature. Here's one of those flaps. And here's some more of that graph paper. This is sewn to this sheet. This is the center of my signature. 7 more pages to go. I made another pocket, journal card, and another envelope. Now, some of the ephemera was punched out of these, and I was going to throw these away. Don't shoot me for saying that. And I thought the receiver might want to use that as a photo mat, or to photo mat, or to mat some quotes in the signature. So I decided to just keep that. So I am not sending my trash. I thought maybe the receiver might want to use those. The other part of that glassine bag, and here's another journal card, and there's a tuck spot there. See, isn't that pretty? That is so pretty. Here's the second part of that page, using that vintage newspaper. And I created another tuck spot. It says, I got this. Tag in a pocket, another pocket. And remember, I sewn this into that page. And then I included, again, some extra pieces. Sewn in this belly band and more pieces. Here's that second flap, and some ephemera and a little tag. I love the marble. And here's my last page. So because I stapled this little lace trim, it closed this pocket up. There's still room to put things in. I included another vellum envelope. Did a little stamping here. And another journal card. And included one of these too. And that's it, my friends. That is my signature. Right there. And so all that's left to do is to send this off. And that's it. Thank you for watching.